Hello, folks, and welcome to the Friend or Foe Lounge. I am your friendly neighborhood shoutcaster, Sharogen, your host for the evening. Or day.
My name is Chris Sunga. I am your co-host, by the way. Hello, everyone. I'm also the creator of Friend or Foe. Mythic just happened. Literally, like we're fresh off of Mythic. It happened like an hour ago. It just
Yeah,
wrapped.
we're doing a bit of a late night recording.
Yeah, we're doing a late night session, and we have two guests that I'm super excited to have. We have Utility Monster, the tournament organizer for Heroic, and we have IMSOLOING, who was my mid laner on SCC way back when, and also is a substitute for Fat Pikachu. Let's have you guys introduce yourselves. Utility, why don't you go first?
Hi, I'm Utility Monster. I'm the tournament organizer for the Heroic League, and I play jungle for YUBI in Mythic.
Hello, I'm IMSOLOING. My name is Nick. I'm the former king of the mid lane, season 4 of FOF as the MVP.
Former three-trick pony.
Nah, you gotta violate my. God damn it, man.
I'm sorry.
What is it? I am now a sub for. I'm the secret weapon sub behind Fat Pikachu currently. But yeah, that's my introduction.
If he's Nick, I can be Josh if we're not using our gamer names.
Are we not using our gamer names? Because
no, we could sit. We're family. We're family now. Now that we're all under FOF.
Fine, I'll go by Zach. My
Yeah.
boring name that my parents gave me. That
No,
my
Zach
initials
is-
spell out ZAK. So
Zach is a sick name.
Wait,
know.
ZAK. That's how you
Yes.
spell it.
my full name. No. My full name. The initials are ZAK.
Oh, got it.
So I am Zachary Zach.
Gotcha.
Zach.
That's too good.
Yeah,
That's too good.
so yeah, it's pretty awesome. I enjoy it.
Welcome, guys.
You say that Soloing was one of the returning MVPs, but I don't see him listed as past player returning stats under Jeff's stats.
Well, he was playing in season 4. Season 5 was the.
Well,
the
yes,
last
but
one.
we've got Zen, Leaves, Jaffe, Jeff.
Yeah, they were season 5.
Season 4, I was the #1 mid laner for that season.
I know, and I feel like that's somewhat significant, even if you're just on the sub roster. Like they should have at least included you.
I feel like
Blame
if I
Jeff.
really had the time, like how do you guys know how many weeks the tournament is?
11 weeks
Well,
total.
11
weeks
total. I joined like mid, and I had like 4 games, so that was like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
2 weeks, and I was the top mid laner of the tournament. Imagine if I had the whole tournament to play.
Yeah, I would have thrown games for you, so your ego would have.
My ego's already big. There's no reason you haven't played it.
Let's go to Heroic, because I was in Mexico. I went on my first vacation in all of Friend or Foe history. My very first vacation since season 1 started, and let me tell you, it was fantastic. I did so much drinking, so much dancing, but I missed all of Heroic, and genuinely couldn't even see the scores until today. So, Utility, do you mind can you just tell me what happened? Tell me what happened.
All right. Big arc storylines in the trees, still undefeated.
Bet.
Art of War and RLS both dropped games trying to catch up. Team Wash bounced back with a 2-0 week, so everyone's preseason #1 pick is no longer has a losing record, and Cloud9 failed to pick up their first win, but they looked really competitive in their games.
Really? And they lost to Wet. How did Wet look in that match?
Wet, and I've said this in my power rankings. Shout out to the FOF Connect. It's my
Nice.
I've said in my power rankings all along that Wet is a really weird team for me because they never look good, but they win half the time.
Yeah.
And at some point, like people have said this about teams I'm on as well, and at some point it stops being everyone plays worse against them, and it's just whatever you're doing is chaotic and hard for people to read, and it forces mistakes. But their games look to me like their opponents are making unforced errors and they're getting lucky.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows? They don't look like a terrible team, but I'm surprised they're middle of the pack. I thought they would be sort of bottom 2 or 3.
Yeah, kind of insane. Do you think that carries into playoffs? Like, how far does them being quote unquote lucky do you think takes them?
From what we've seen so far, INT is a step above everyone else. So, I mean, going to playoffs, it's sort of, if everyone keeps their current form, it's more a battle for second.
Yeah,
But it's also,
that's what I've been seeing.
But it's also a question, I think, of which team has the most potential for growth. I think if you're looking at that, it's going to be Art of War and Wash have the most potential for growth because it's rosters that haven't played together before, so they have a lot of synergy to build with strong individual players. So those would be the teams I would most look out for. But I mean, you could tell me if you told me right now that any team in this league ends the season in second and takes INT to 5 games in the finals, I would totally believe you.
Yeah, you think it's that close, or it could be that close.
Yeah, it very much looks like INT and then everyone else.
INT versus the world.
They are the one who are 6-0, and you got C9 as kind of the exact mirror image.
Yeah.
Yeah.
C9 is, if it weren't for Art of War last season, they'd be the best winless team I've ever seen. But Art of War last season takes that cake, so they're the second best winless team I've ever seen.
Okay. The A4 versus AW matchup, because I refuse to say versus AW, because it's just too confusing. Anyway, tell me about the A4 game versus Art of War. XT won MVP of that one, if you happen to remember.
That game was nice to see, sort of Quad A after having a couple of rough games in a row bounce back. It was, I don't know if XT was like far and away the MVP. It was a very back and forth game, but XT was generally where he needed to be. He played, I believe, Trundle and was sort of just doing useful things the entire time. XT as a player, I think, is the type of player who looks really good when he's not necessarily the person making the first decision. He's just always there to back up the play. He's always there in the right place. He's always there supporting the team call. And he did that really well. The batteries triumphed.
Yeah,
Those batteries.
the batteries triumphed.
They're very small batteries.
Yeah. Quadruple A batteries, ready to charge your, I don't know, keys.
I never even thought about the quadruple A battery thing until just now.
Yeah, wow.
Oh, that's what it stands for?
No.
No,
No,
but we're
no,
forcing
no.
it. We're forcing it.
We're forcing. No,
really
they're birds.
stretching it.
So it's technically their name is supposed to be like
Like screaming. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a
screeching
bird sound.
like a
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah.
Oh
going on.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say props to their logo though. That is a very hoodie friendly logo. Let me skip to Heroic next week real fast, because next week will mark specifically Thursday will mark the end of the first half. And INT has only Wash remaining to go 7-0. What are the chances that it's a 7-0 for INT versus, I don't know, Wash?
I think it's like 80% at the very least.
Yeah.
What's going on? Why is INT so cracked all of a sudden?
I mean, they've
I don't
always
know.
been quite good, but then a lot of the teams that were their competitors moved up to Mythic, and I think they were expecting to be rustier than they actually were. It turns out that they're all pretty good at League of Legends.
Because when we did STC, we wiped the floor with them.
Oh,
when
dude,
I
don't
was
play.
playing.
That was over a year ago, man. You can't keep bringing these memories up.
No,
He's gonna want to watch
refuse.
the rematch, though.
That was
Okay.
before the durability patch, so technically like doesn't count anymore.
The big controversial patch. Thank you, lovely Rito.
Another thing INT has going for them is they have been playing Fish McGish in top lane and Broccoli in mid lane, instead of normally their starting rosters listed as Broccoli top lane and Evolved Noob mid lane.
Right. Yeah.
And in my opinion, Fish McGish is really good, and Broccoli I think is better than Evolved Noob. So I think that roster permutation is better for them. But I think they prefer to play Evolved Noob if he's available, just because he's sort of closer in their friend group. But he, to my knowledge, has actually not finished the 25 ranked solo duo games he needs to play this season. So
Gotcha.
that's what they're waiting on to have him start. And until then, it's all.
I heard he has a moving situation or something.
Yeah.
Maybe college. I can't remember. But
Yeah. So
life
until
is more
then-
important.
Till then, it's Fish, and he's looked really good.
Anyway, let's go to let's just predict the final the end of the half of the 4 games. So you have PTP versus Wet. Thoughts on PTP versus Wet?
That's going to be a really close game.
Yeah, I agree. I'm kind of hyped for that one actually.
I think PTP is definitely kind of starting to pull themselves together. So I think I'm leaning towards Pentakill Team Up Please for that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I want to say PTP because once week would get mad at me if I did. So I'll say PTP on that one.
I think, I don't know. PTP went 0-2, then 2-0, then 0-2. So if the pattern holds, they're 2-0 again.
Right. Oh, okay. Well, there
Yeah,
you go.
exactly. So
Yeah.
that's part of the other reason.
Gamblers. There you go.
But I'm still gonna take Wet. I think I've been doubting Wet, and they keep winning. So I'm done doubting. I believe in you, Wet.
Okay.
You can do it.
INT Wash. I think most of us. I think most of us said INT, but I believe in Wash. I believe in.
I
Wash
think
for
that
this
game will
one.
be close than Sharogen
Yeah.
thinks it will be. I think Wash looked a lot better last week in terms of their team play. I mean, individually they always looked fine. Pure Llama has been putting CS leads on everyone in the league. It was just that they looked disjointed in team fights. They fixed that a little bit last week. To be fair, they were also playing two of the lower ranked teams in the league last week, so that always helps. But I would give them 2 or 3-1 chances, not 5-1 like Sharogen said.
Okay.
But definitely got to take INT. They're sort of established as a juggernaut team, and they have not looked. They've looked at worst even in early games, and then they win in team fights instead of beating you in laning phase.
Right. Yeah. RLS Art of War. That one also feels close. Aren't they Titan standings?
Yeah, those are the
4
two
and
teams
2.
tied for second place. So
Oh
the
my
winner
God.
is sole second.
Yep, they will
Okay.
get full second. I am leaning Art of War for that one. I will continue to be the Art of War
Of
stan that
course.
I am.
Of course.
But that's also because I feel like RLS this season just isn't as strong as we've seen in previous seasons for the most part. It's definitely feels like they're kind of coalescing still. And I think Oriri, once again, cracked job at collecting people, and hopefully we see that roster stick around to the end.
yeah. I think he's got a solid roster. Okay.
I think I'll give it to Art of War as well, but that's like 51-49.
51. See,
Okay.
I'm leaning 60-40, so I'm still not like super high sold on Art of War, but I do believe Art of War is in a better position.
I think Art of War has looked good, especially when they come out of laning phase with a lead, but if they, especially jungle mid, if they don't have a lead, they've looked shaky. So I think they're very good at closing games out once they get ahead, and they're also very good at laning to get the leads in the first place. But I can see RLS matching them in lane and then out maneuvering them on the map mid game. So.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm with you. I think I give Art of War 69%. Personally. C9 versus A4.
C9
versus
all the way,
A4.
100%.
C9, baby.
C9
C9. Please, boys. Please.
I would love C9 to get their first win.
Yeah.
I don't think it's happening in that game.
It's happening in that game.
No.
It's
Man said
happening.
he had no faith. Jesus Christ, just straight out the gate, just like no,
dude,
man.
if you have no faith, why are you even on the lounge, man? Come on.
I
on,
want all the
unbiased
teams
opinion.
in this league that I am helping to run. I want all of them to have a great time and get
Oh,
some wins.
right.
I think
And then
C9
there's-
deserves a win. I think
Is-
they're not going to get one on Thursday.
Has there ever been a team in any season where they just never won a game?
Yep.
Has that been ever?
Yes.
Oh no.
Yeah. It was super fun though.
I think big picture, yes. I think teams will sort of move up like 1 or 2 slots and down 1 or 2 slots. But I don't see any team finishing more than, let's say, three places away from where they are currently.
Okay. You don't see any miracle runs happening?
Nope, I don't see INT finishing last. I don't see Cloud9 finishing first.
Yeah,
And
unfortunately, that I agree with that as much as I don't want to.
Yeah.
I
agree
don't
with
see
that.
anyone in the middle really managing to overcome the current top 3.
I feel like if anyone were to do it, it would be PTP. My gut just tells me if any team were to make some kind of crazy
That's a hot
play
take.
for grand finals.
That
it
is a
would be-
hot take. I would say Wash is the one in the middle that would make it higher.
No.
But currently, yeah, it definitely INT, AWE, RLS, definitely the top 3.
I'm on the Cloud9 bandwagon. 9 and 6 the dream. What is it? 8 and 6 the dream.
And speaking of Cloud9, didn't CEO of Bard change their name?
What?
Yeah, I believe they are now I Throw Meeps.
What?
That's
correct.
That's low key better than
And
CEO.
what?
for all the players out there, they were assessed a ban penalty. So don't change your name mid-season; you will lose bans.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh,
I like this name better, so I'm like cool with it. But like, all right, for sure. All right, but wait, what's the name? I throw meeps.
I Throw Meep.
I throw meeps. All right, good luck,
Meeps.
casters. Good luck.
I
I
always
think
of the
the
DBZ
real
after-
dream for Cloud9 is that they go 6 and 8, and then get a tiebreaker match for like 4th, 5th,
Oh.
and then lose it so they can go 6 and 9.
wait.
Let's go.
Wait,
What makes
6
you think
and
that's not their
9?
secret goal?
I'm sure it
Bro,
is.
Are they
For
gonna
the memes.
recruit Faker from Korea? Bro, what
Yeah,
kind of
dude.
miracle run are you trying to think of?
Dude, you
That
never
they
know,
lose
man. You
once?
never know.
No.
You
Those-
almost did
those-
the STC miracle run.
No,
You
they
almost-
have 8 games left. They can win 6 of them. They lose
Yes.
1 to INT. They lose another one to some random team. They beat everyone else up.
Yeah. Doable. Lose the
All
tiebreaker.
that needs to
6
happen
and
is
9
like-
the dream.
They just need to get people to let Bard through, and we'll see what happens.
You know what? Who knows? Like World is happening. Who knows? Maybe fucking Faker might get recruited by some way, shape, or form on
Yeah.
accident,
I'll
and
call
then
him
they
up
make
right
a
now.
miracle. Nah, there's no way. There's no
I'll
way.
call him. Do you not believe in Cloud9? I believe in Cloud9.
Their name is Cloud9. What do you think?
Yeah. Oh my god. Okay. Let's move forward to the other half of Friend or Foe.
Oh
That we
boy,
can actually talk
let's-
about now, the
let's-
mythic
let's-
half.
Let's
Yeah.
do this.
Yeah, this half
Literally-
has a lot better and more attractive players, but a lot worse management.
What?
Okay, speaking of, just because we're recording this on the evening of the 6th after the game's finished up,
Yeah.
I want to talk about this Rex YUBI game earlier.
Ah.
What happened?
Yes. Josh. UB
yeah.
looked like UB looked like they took everything personal.
Okay, so we know pretty much everyone on that team. It was definitely one where like season starts, we're like, yeah, we're not losing to Joshi. Like we're not
Yeah.
gonna do it. So 110% effort for sure. But then also I think draft wise, the draft that they had for themselves was, if they play perfectly, really good. But the second they don't play perfectly, I think it's really hard for them to get back in the game
Mhm.
because they don't have that many proactive options and they need to wait to scale. So once we were able to take one fight at the first dragon where they thought that they could burn it down faster than they could, and we won that, it was sort of really hard for them in a macro sense to come back in the game. And they didn't just roll over and die, and as a result, we got a lot of kills and it looked kind of brutal. But the alternative is they do nothing and lose. So
Right. I'm definitely looking forward to the next rematch, like the round 2, because it always feels like round 2 rivalry matches are more hyped. Yeah.
yeah,
you know?
UB in particular, I think, has a big round 1 edge in that we've all played together.
Yeah.
And we have a very defined team style. We have a very defined method of team communication, both in game and out of game. And other teams have to build that. And it doesn't take that long to build, but it takes longer than a week.
There's a real question. Does Joshi play Azir regularly?
Joshi was a top laner until recently. He prefers playing mid because it gives him more agency over how the game goes. And as a mid laner, he has been playing quite a bit of Azir recently. He's been trying to pick up Azir and Yone are the two ones.
Oh, okay.
And then
Because-
his existing stable pool is like Victor, Malzahar, and then some easy stuff like Gallia.
Okay, in that case, like I'm very impressed with his the current mechanics he has on Azir because I think Azir is probably the most mechanically engaging champion that has been ever released. And honestly, it's great work, Joshi, if you're listening. Like honestly, Rex is my favorite in this tournament. It's not even probably my own team. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, you can tell that Joshi, especially in like the coordinated fives play, is maybe used to playing some tankier champions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can definitely tell. But yeah, regardless, Joshi, keep working at it. I believe in you, bro. Come on.
Yeah, I saw the Joshi ain't shit comment from Utility Monster in Trash Talk, and I was like, okay, he's prepping. He's prepping for the hype video.
I was really hoping, to be honest, that if
Yeah.
we lost, I at least got to get a montage.
Get a
appearance out
montage,
of it.
yeah.
Okay, now it's like in the Ted movie, the fucking teddy bear movie. I quote, "It's my turn. Let's go. I get to speak about my team, Fat Pikachu."
Yeah,
I
let's
have
talk
some-
about Pikachu.
I have some shit to say.
Okay.
No flame to Sungabu. Great dude. Sungabu, what were you doing? So during this game, right? First game, me and the subs, our support sub, we were watching it together. We were a little bit confused on the draft, so I'm glad it wasn't just me. And I want to I want to hear your guys' input. I don't know what our team comp is meant for. Like, if you see like UB's comp, right? Pretty all around. Like, they have damage, they have front line, they have the Sivir for in the back line, kind of like doing her thing, right? Like, doing lots of damage because haha Sivir balance, haha. But what is our comp meant for? I looked at Blackpink's OP.GG, and he plays Kog'Maw more, and I was like confused because I think Kog'Maw would have been a way better pick here because currently our team has no damage besides maybe the Echo.
Kog'Maw may have been better, but I think Varus is a little bit stronger in lane. And from the way that
Okay.
their jungler pathed, he started top half and 3 camp gank spot.
Yeah.
But I think their goal is to snowball bot lane off of some lane priority and some jungle attention. And Kog'Maw is maybe like, yes, you'd rather have a fed Kog'Maw, but it's easier to get a fed Varus.
I agree with that. Yeah.
This is competitive play. It isn't like solo queue where you just start fighting out of nowhere. Like, if you can communicate with your support, you can like handshake the lane. It's like, you know what, we're gonna just farm. And I am pretty confident that a Kog'Maw Lulu will just absolutely annihilate a Sivir without the Sivir doesn't have like a Yumi.
Sivir at the moment is really strong. I mean, it's been blue unpicked in both leagues pretty much every time it's available. I can pull the stats up, but I believe it was picked in 6 of the 8 games in week 1 of Mythic and had a 66% win rate. So it's just good. I mean, even if you pick a bad matchup for it where Sivir can't fight, you just perma shove into tower. So I think the more questionable draft, if you're going to talk about Fat Pikachu's game 1 draft, is the Galio into Vel'Koz, because I think Sundabu's really good at damage champions, as he looked really good against TDE, even though they lost today. But also, I just don't think it's a good matchup. I think Galio has trouble closing the distance to Vel'Koz, and Vel'Koz does enough true damage that Galio being a little bit tankier than the average mid laner doesn't matter as much.
Yeah, definitely. I was like mid game, and I was like looking at mid lane, like, damn, Sundabu is having a really tough time. Like, because I know Sundabu to be a really great mid lane player. He's like as good as me. So I looked at the matchup. Vel'Koz has like a 58% win rate against Galio.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
wait, sussy.
If you know your geometry, I feel like Vel'Koz is just one of the safest mid laners.
Civillock definitely got an A in geometry, definitely.
The pick we expected that last pick to be was actually LeBlanc, which I think is a better pick and something Sundabu does play a little bit more than Galio.
Ooh, that would have been nice.
Well, I think LeBlanc's maybe not as good meta-wise, and it's harder to build a team around, and maybe they were worried about double magic, like super heavy magic damage from Echo and LeBlanc in mid jungle.
That was sense.
That was what we expected. So
Honestly, I would have been. I think I was okay with the Galio pick, to be honest. Even if it's counterpicked by Vel'Koz, I was completely fine with the Galio pick because I understand, like, if Skarner goes in, right, like Galio can just face tank it, just protect the ADC / support. I'm fine with that. But the goal of the comp was just really confusing to me. I'm just gonna say, UB Red, if you're listening, you are a fucking monster. You are the Mordekaiser incarnate, the fucking edgelord himself, the Death Realm Emperor. You are so fucking good.
he doesn't need more ego. You can stop now.
We don't need to feed that
We
anymore.
don't need to feed Red.
Picture
It's
this with me.
it's
I'm
like Fang over Fang did absolutely terrible in his last game. He played.
Picture
It was
this
awful.
with me. I'm like watching the game and like I was like, you know what, this game is going great. It's like, we're a little bit shaky. Our first game is like fine, and then I'm meanwhile saying that, like, I'm pulling my hair out quite literally, and then I see Mord 1v3ing my top side laners. It's just like
That was a highlight moment.
Mord is in a very good spot, it feels like, meta-wise.
He didn't get worse, but I feel like he's sort of calmed down a little bit. I don't know, maybe it's because he's banned all the time, but I feel like he's calmed down a little bit.
I think Mordekaiser punishes a lot of traditional gameplay patterns and champions in top lane. So, and the fact that you have to go out of your comfort zone to deal with it makes it pretty strong. The team I've been most surprised by Mythic, though, going 0-2 was not Fat Pikachu, it was BBZ. I was shocked to see BBZ winless at the end of week 1.
That team I'm surprised as well. They wrecked us in scrims every single time. We went 4-0, by the way. They went 4-0 against us.
Oh, dude, don't leak scrims. You're not supposed to leak scrims, dude.
Oh,
just kidding.
They were my pick before the season if you'd asked me for best team or best team other than us.
Yeah,
if you want me to be biased.
same.
And it's not just Chris being biased.
No, I'm really not. I mean, I'm not even on
unbiased
this team
opinion
anymore.
here.
Yeah,
Quote,
seriously,
quote.
I thought they were gonna be the best team for sure.
Because on paper they have 5 really good players, and game 1 they just didn't look like they knew what to do together, and they got sort of 1v9'd by a master Twitch player, which understandable. He's really good at Twitch. I mean, he's really good at all AD carries, but they were going even in lanes that individually I know that they're better than in both top and mid, and team-wise they were taking really odd fights. They weren't flanking, they weren't necessarily going at the same time, they were just sort of showing up places and doing battle. And then game 2 was really unfortunate because Mizuza, their mid laner, had a power outage, and so they had sort of a whole 20-minute ordeal before the game could even start, trying to get a sub, trying to get him
Thank you,
in.
California Power.
Yeah,
Thank you, California Power.
Oh my gosh. It was literally 112 earlier in the car when I was driving. AC's broken, by the way, because that's the life. And oh my goodness.
Alive?
I don't even know, dude. I died a long time ago. I'm just living out of spite.
Yeah, but so really, really unfortunate though for BBZ that they have their mid laner suddenly can't play last minute. They have to get a sub. They can't redraft. You know, so I'm sure everyone going into the game is in a terrible mindset already.
Yeah.
But their top half looked terrible. I mean, Dax killed himself at like level 3 to not even get anything. And as a jungler, I've definitely been there where your gank fails and you really want to make it work because you've invested all this time in your route trying to get to this lane and gank it. But looked terrible. And then Geico is against a Silver Mordekaiser as Fiora, which is really Fiora favorite matchup. And he's not making like terrible decisions, but he's just mechanically not playing well. And he's a Fiora main. Like if you look at his history, he's been playing Fiora for like 3 or 4 years. So I wonder, because I know that he's better mechanically, like just what's going on.
What is happening?
Dynamic. Yeah, like what's the team dynamic? What's the individual dynamic? Like, is everyone just... Is it just should I ignore that game because they were tilted going in because of the sub situation and it's just a wash? Or is it like this team is going to go 0-14, hot take? Or is it...
You know,
I don't think that's going to happen.
I keep getting the comment that they literally don't practice. Like their practice times are apparently...
What do you mean?
Yeah, but I know then I was gonna bring that up, right? But like every like press comment I've gotten has been like most teams saying they didn't do any preparation going into Mythic or something. So I don't know how much of an excuse like I'm allowed to actually say that is, but I do want to say like it's probably that. Like I think want to hope.
I think a lot of teams actually over practice and under prepare for their matches.
Okay.
So YUBI has scrimmed like a grand total of 4 teams in the last 3 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
And most of them were because the other team wanted us to, not because we thought it would be that helpful, to be honest. We mostly just make sure that we're vaguely proficient on the champions that we want to play, either in solo queue or in flex queue together. And then we spend a lot of time talking about the specific opponent and what they like to do and what champions they like to play and what style or champions are good against that. But I do wonder if teams would benefit from spending a little bit more time thinking about drafts, and not even just drafts, but like just big picture game plans. Like against this team, do we want to be aggressive? Do we want to be scaling? Do we want I wonder if maybe BBT just hasn't found what they want to do and they haven't figured out what their opponents want to do, what they can do best against that, more than it's individual play. Because individually, I've played with every single person on that team before, and they're all way better than they played the last 2 days.
Right. I can't see an 0-14 happening.
No, I'm being hyperbolic.
Right, totally. But like, what if? Oh
That
my
would be
gosh.
that would be wild.
The teams I'm most scared of to like probably like face because they're pretty strong is either BBZ, UB, and Rex. Those teams I think are top 3 of the entire league. I don't think that. So after this season, I guarantee they're top 3. I think Fact Pikachu would be top 4. But you heard it here. No need
Naturally.
to do the power ranks at all. I will
Yeah.
not change my opinion, because I remember when I gone to this league for the first time and I thought I was like, hey, I'm platinum 1. You know, we're gonna be fine. And then the second game I got like shat on. So I feel like players shouldn't be too overconfident in their individual ability just because they're like a high rank. Don't take it for granted. This is competitive play. You could be a silver player and still shit on a diamond level player. Maybe not like mechanically, right? But
Well,
as
I
long as
mean,
you play with your team, and practice, you should be able to work around that.
it happened today, no?
I totally agree because it happened today. That was the Silver Mordekaiser beating up the
Yeah.
Diamond
Like,
Fiora, but also
clear
that's sort
example.
of what Yubi has been doing for the past several seasons. I think all of us in Silicu are terrible players, but we know what everyone else wants to do. We're on the same page, and we make bad plays decisively. And if the other team isn't decisive enough to beat it back, then we'll win. The other team that's been surprising, sort of reverse of BBZ, who's been a disappointment, is Super Late Reveal, who's shockingly the other undefeated team.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
2-0, Brendan. And I literally said it in Green Room, but Brendan, if you're listening, I refuse to let you have a championship before I do. So I will manipulate the script to make it so you lose.
He's gonna reprogram the Matrix.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would have said they were a bottom half team coming into the week, and that at the very least seems like a wrong thing to say.
Well, Guilty has been immaculate in these 2 games that I've seen him. It looks like Guilty.
Chris.
Who's wait, what?
That's a big word. Chill.
What? Guilty?
Immaculate. Chill, man.
Oh, immaculate. Oh my god. I'm sorry.
Didn't they just overtake the leaderboard for most kills?
I was saying they're top 3 currently in both in KDA in both leagues currently.
Yeah, Guilty after week 1 in Mythic is first in KDA and is third in Hura.
Yeah, insane. I believe it was a Swain and a Xerath game, if my memory.
That sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I swooned for his Swain.
Yeah, and
based off the interview.
Unlike most teams have sort of thrown together players, they seem to be playing together really well, which is both fun to watch, but also if you can figure out what they did, you should copy it because that's really impressive.
When do you play them, Mr. Barlow? Mr. Utility?
I believe we don't play them until week 4.
Oh no, very end. So you guys got to go undefeated up until that point, so we can hype video that one.
All right, I'll do my part, but I don't know. It's a tall order in this league. This is a tough league.
Yeah, this is a really tough league. I genuinely don't know who's gonna make it. Who's gonna really be in the top 6 in the end?
Oh yeah, I haven't really been participating in FOF often, but I think this Mythic, this league, so far from what I see, is the most relatively. I think every single team has a shot at winning with each other. Yeah, like Team Eek. I looked at their team. They have 3 master tier players ready to they just have them. And I don't know if that terrifies anybody else, but it certainly terrifies me.
It didn't terrify SLR.
Yeah, the problem is they can't play them all.
Yep, they can't play them all, and
True.
Thank God for the 65 points rule. It's all good, but yeah, the main players that are really hyped up this season seem to be Tuyun and Brian Sang, and like Brian Sang is like known, I guess, like hyped up to be like the Jesus Christ of support.
that's putting it mildly.
Yeah, but that's what I heard, and honestly, I was really impressed with Smack's day 1. The Bard, that was so crazy. And I'm really glad he got the MVP. I really feel like supports are really underrated, and they rarely get the MVPs, but I'm really happy he got the MVP afterwards.
Brian Sang is on my team, so I can't gas him up too much, but
yeah,
he's pretty good. The biggest hurdle to getting him back into the team, because he skipped out on season 5, was the 25 ranked games.
Oh, sure. course
He's
it
from
was.
hell and back. Oh yeah, I read the magazine. Why do we all say Pikachu?
I have no idea, man. I literally how Connect works is I give them a Google form and I get whatever they write. And he wrote Pika, and I said, okay.
I believe the captains filled it out, at least were
Yeah,
sent
the
the form.
captains.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
most likely Sundabu responded with all the Pikachu noises.
Yeah.
Minimum work, biggest reaction.
I also really appreciate the fact that they hover Kennen on every single pick in the draft tool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Some
we're
big dedication.
yeah.
Yup.
Makes sense now. It all makes sense.
Yeah, we're gonna do that every single time, just so you guys
Good.
get a reference.
Yeah, we hover Yumi like when we remember, which is like once every 3 games.
Yeah,
Want to hear
so
another tilting stat about
Yes.
Yubi for this season?
Go for it.
Okay.
All right, through week 1, Yubi has lost 1 objective.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
jeez Louise.
How could you?
We
Honestly,
we lost
you should-
second Rift Herald against Rex.
Wow.
Oh
You
my
guys-
god! Just forfeit the tournament. dude.
Yeah, actually. You guys
Hold on,
actually suck.
Hold on. Would you really count that as a loss because you killed it before it ever made the charge?
But it gives local gold now.
Okay,
Ah.
fine.
Yeah. Just,
Okay, well,
you heard it here. Yubi's gonna
Yubi's filled
forfeit
with
the tournament.
Yubi's filled with frauds. They're not actually that good.
They're really not. I mean, everybody thinks we just hype them up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just they're not that good.
Do you want to quickly just go down the list of the teams we haven't talked about and wrap
Things we
things
haven't
up?
talked about. So we
Yes.
SLR surprising, BBC surprising, but for bad reasons. Fat Pikachu working on it. Yubi still good. Rex. they lost to Yubi, but they're looking
They're
good.
still good.
Yeah. So we got TDE.
Mm-hmm.
TDE kind of scraped out a win from a lost position against Fat Pikachu.
Yeah, that. Oh my! I was literally
they- yeah.
commenting.
They
Yeah.
were. I thought they were dead to rights, and they just took a Baron, and it turns out that Belveth is really good if you have Baron buff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
was a
that was
funny
insane.
champion.
Yeah,
That's-
I
that's-
literally was commenting that I hadn't seen an FOF game in a very long time where the losing team was the one with more kills by the end of the scoreboard. It's been a really long time, I think so.
TDE has not looked that good, and they've, like, if their win is that lucky and they were, so far behind, I thought TDE was going to be sort of a mid to bottom tier team, but after week 1, I have to say I think they might be the worst team, which feels really bad because I'm friends with everyone on that team and I really wish them to do well, but they did not look impressive.
I think they have the players to make playoffs. I really do. I think they have the pieces. But I am looking at the rest of this competition. I'm like, yeah, this definitely looks like a toss-up. I believe in them.
Mhm.
I believe.
And then what about scaling Copium?
YOLO, scaling Copium.
Copium.
So their win, I don't want to read too much into because it was against we talked about with BBZ. They
Right.
had the emergency sub. They seemed tilted. Good game from YOLO. They didn't play poorly by any means. But the more interesting test, I think, was the game against Rex. And they looked fine, but you can tell that their jungler and top laner are sort of their lower ranked players because they have 3 diamond players in the team, so they can't, with their point budget, they can't afford the best players in those roles. Their top and jungle look quite good for their ranks, and I think the bigger problem is that their bot lane is not pulling their half of the bargain. They're not playing like a diamond bot lane. They're not winning lane. They're not playing team fights better than everyone else, and that's
I
a
see.
problem if that's where you're supposed to win matches on paper. If you told me they end up second, like, I'd believe you, but like sixth, like, barely a playoff team, but a playoff team.
I just thought of something. What if they go undefeated for the rest of the season?
Bro, what
And
is
then
it with
they
you
are-
guys and believing
is-
so hard?
That is scaling Copium, dude.
Dude, but that's the thing. Then you only lose once.
Oh.
You only lose once. I see. I see. You can hand in your resignation letter tomorrow morning.
Yep,
That would
I am
be-
done. I have been fired. That was the last pun I could make.
That would be a great story, and I honestly hope they do. I think that they look fine, but I don't think that their high-ranked players are of the correct play style or mindset or skill level to sort of take the lead they need to, and they'll struggle against really coordinated teams who just lock them in lane and let their top half win.
I'm with you.
And then the last thing we haven't talked about is Eek.
Yes. King Kongji. I mean, we talked about them a little bit. That's the team with the 3 master players, right?
True.
All right. Yeah.
But yeah, Kongji kind of smurfed day one. With 22-3. The rat and the cat.
Kind of
Disgusting
insane.
Twitch.
I was entertaining the idea when we were first being pitched the idea of a point system league. I was always entertaining in my head, like, okay, so what happens? Like what's the possibility that one player actually does 1v9 a game? And I see it day one, and I'm like, all right, okay.
Alrighty then.
Yeah.
But he had to work for it.
Yeah, that's true. He did sweat for it.
Man created an ocean for the win.
It's really
I
funny.
wonder how long you can keep that up though, because that's gotta be exhausting on your mental.
I think
being
it
the one who's
depends on the
1v9
player.
every
I
time.
think if you're the type of Masters player who's like, yeah, I'm just gonna come in and I'm gonna be mechanically great. I don't care if we win. I'm just gonna play better than everyone. I'm gonna get a lot of kills and we'll see what happens. I think if you're the type of player who wants to get lots of kills and see what happens, you'll have a great time because you're always to get a lot of kills.
Yeah.
They're making this mistake. Really? They thought they could step up?
Yeah, I think if you're the type of player whose only goal is to win at any cost, it can get rough because there's a lot of pressure on you to be the one who wins because your team is theoretically outmatched in other roles and so on. But I think it would be pretty fun if it were me personally. I guess I'm only platinum, so if I got to play in like a silver league, I would have a lot of fun. I think that'd be great.
You guys ever see those videos on YouTube, like the super clickbaity, like 1 challenger versus 5 silver players? I feel like I'm conducting that social experiment, but like long term now.
1 master versus everyone else in the average league.
Yeah. All of our FFS VODs should just have that as the title.
Yeah, and
views.
Kongzi, I'm so sorry if you just get dived. I know how bad it feels as an AD carry. I'm so sorry. If I see a fucking fiddlesticks in the next game when you're playing, I'm so sorry.
It is very funny though, because you can look at their starting roster. It's like, oh, they're gonna play through bot. And then if you ask any of the players on the team, like, what are you gonna do? Oh, we're gonna play through bot. Like everyone knows what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Honestly,
it's not a surprise. It's like, oh,
see this
bot lane, they're getting bot lane. Oh, bot lane's fed.
I feel like the first week they're just shaking off like the nervousness.
Yeah, it's all
just getting
nerves.
together. But the second week, I feel like teams will be way more coordinated. They won't be as like scared shitless as week 1. And I'm really excited because honestly, this entire league is really close. It's not like there's not a big disparity between each team, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I think that Heroic sort of there's a top 1, but 2 through 8 could be anywhere, and I think Mythic 1 through 8 could be anywhere. So I'm really excited actually about both these leagues. It's gonna be really fun.
Yeah, and my team, if you're listening in right now when you're watching this, get your shit together.
Agreed. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all we've got for this week. So, Chris, you want to close us out?
Yeah, thank you everyone. First of all, thank you everyone, all the players, all the new Mythic players for showing up and coming out to play in Mythic League. I know that creating this Mythic League has been one hell of a roller coaster. But we really appreciate you guys because the show it's physically not possible without you guys. And I just appreciate everyone's participation and all the hype and all the nice comments and everything. So shout outs to you guys. Same with Heroic, of course. We're not forgetting about you. It's just so hectic now that Mythic has just started. It feels like the freshest thing on our minds. But yeah, shout outs to you guys. Shout outs to our sponsors, Logitech G, Adobe Creative Cloud, and Academy of Art. Thank you guys so much for assisting with our project. And yeah, you can close it out from there.
All right. With that, let's go ahead, close it out. Have a wonderful evening, folks, or day, whatever time of day it is that you are listening to this. I want to say thank you very much, Utility Monster, and I'm soloing Nick, Josh. Really appreciate having you guys here. And we will catch you all later. Remember, FOF esports.com for the FOF Connect. Always putting out those weekly magazines. Should be a new edition coming out soon if you haven't seen it on Thursday. And then we will be rejoining our heroic games on Thursday, Friday, 4:30 Pacific time, and our mythic games Monday and Tuesday, 4:30 Pacific time. Be sure to tune in to twitch.com/FOF esports, and we will see you on the Rift.